I will move over to myflow. There's actually less to do in the new system this time than in the old system. You saw there's quite a bit of work to close a performance cycle. And now that we're moving into the new one, we're basically only doing the target setting in the new system. I will show you first in the PowerPoint what I will then afterwards show you in the system directly. So in the myflow system, the first thing that you will be able to do is to review the company and then eventually the functional goals when we have them. But the company goals, hopefully, we will be able to have in the production system when you enter the system next week. That would mean for everybody in general STI, you would be able to see the net sales and the EBIT target already under the company targets. And I will show you where to find those. Then you will be able to set individual goals for your team members pretty much in the same place for next year. And then the third topic, you will be able to copy development goals from SolarForce. So in SolarForce, under the development module, you will have planned some development actions with your team members earlier. Now, some of them might have been closed already, and you don't need to worry about those. There's no need to transfer anything old into the new system, but some of them might not have been concluded yet, and those you will want to copy over to myflow. I will also show you how to do that. The first two actions will be under the goals module, and the third one will be under career development. So then I will move over to another screen. Can you see the test environment screen?
Yes.
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 Okay, so here, this is how it looks like when you enter, as Katri also showed already. You will see at the top there's a couple of tabs that my client group is something you will not see. That's for HR, but me, everybody has me. That will have all the information about yourself. And then my team is where you find all your team members. So I will enter there. And then I will choose my newest team member, James Bond, who is my diversity project to the otherwise very female HR group. On the left-hand side, you will see the employment info, and right below that, something called Show More. And in this section, you will find all of the information that we have on James. And here we choose then goals. And what you will see when you enter, there's two tabs on the top where you can find the review period. So over the years, you will have different review periods for performance and with different goals. But of course, this year, now that we enter, we will only have the review period of 2025. And below that, you will have different goal plans for that year. So for anybody in the general STI, you will have the general STI goal plan, which would have looked like the one below for last year. Now for next year, it will look different. We will have those 3 common goals. And then the functional goals. You will be able to see all of that here. And then below that, there's the individual goal plan. So this is the general STI goal plan is for review. You will not be able to update, obviously, any of the goals there. That's just so that you can go and see what they are, and then link your individual team members' individual targets, of course, to those. And then on the individual goal plan, you will be able to add goals. So James already has one goal, but if we were to add another one here, you will have this is for some reason currently not working in the test system, but it's working in the production. But there's a library goal, which is just a selection of goals that we've seen that are repeatedly used over the years. It's a list of goals that you can choose from. If you don't find a goal there, or you just want to formulate it differently, you can put a goal name here. So if I were to enter now then a goal for James. I can add a test goal here and then description of what it should be like. He should be finished with this goal by end of March. And then I can say that it's in the category of people and what I expect success to good, what good looks like is the success criteria. And then you can add also measurements here. You will have different units for the measurement. You can measure it in currency, number, percent, or days. So if I now say it's a number, then again I can add start and end dates and the target value. Let's say it's 10, and then I click OK, number of something, and then I click OK and save and close this target. And now we've created a second goal for James for this year. And then we assume that James and I had also agreed on some developmental goals already in the previous year that are not finalized yet. So let's say we had agreed that he will do some kind of a training by mid of 25. So I can describe that here and say that it's in progress.
So Oti, now you switched from goals to career development module,
Correct.
right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's correct. And that's a good point, Petra. The career development section here is not periodical. So it's not that you set it for a certain time. It's like a rolling development plan. You can put in actions there, they will stay, and then you mark them as completed and they are done. Whereas the goal section always is periodical. So you will have a certain form there for a certain period of time. That's a bit of a difference on how these sections work as such. And in the career development, you can go at any time into the career development section and modify these parts. At the top, you see something called Career Outlook. When we get further with the system, you'll be able to choose target positions. So let's say that James was interested in Katri's position in the future. We would be able to choose that position here and then see what competencies we have defined for Katri's position and then make a development plan according to those competencies that are required for the next job. So this is a bit more kind of, the thought is a bit more long-term planning for the next career step in myflow. And that's all for the first steps. Esa.
Yeah. If you go back to the goals section, so is there some minimum requirements? How many goals we should set for our individuals?
No, not really. I think it varies also quite a lot. So between, let's say, my team and the sales team, for instance, I think the sales teams already has their most important job content included in the sales STI plan. Oftentimes, because they are so focused on those sales numbers. But for my team, we tend to have maybe 3 to 4 targets, and that has been a good amount.
Okay.
But somebody in the sales team might only have had 1. But I think it's definitely good that everybody has some individual goals as well that are then they can be derived from the STI targets or other areas.
So minimum is 1. So.
Probably. I have to say I haven't thought about it like that. I think it's the most important thing that the goal that you put in makes a lot of sense for both of you.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Anni has a question.
Yes. So we do just to recap, we do the performance review in the SolarForce and the last year's kind of conclusion and the targets for this year, of course, in the new system. But what was that we needed to copy manually to the new system?
So in SolarForce, in the development section, you have something called the development plan here.
Yeah.
If there's anything there that has not been finalized or closed, is still ongoing. Let's say your employee is in the middle of a training and you've set a deadline for it.
Okay.
Then I would just capture that in this development, in the career development section as a goal.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions? I think I had one more slide here, but that was just basically to capture. We have 3 minutes, so my time is 2 minutes before your time, so I have 4 minutes. Is that correct?
It is.
Excellent. Now I'm in the beginning of the presentation again. Here, I just wanted to say a few things about performance management in myflow in the future. So basically, we've tried to keep a lot of the process that we've had so far relatively similar. So you will find that the process as such on a PowerPoint version is not very different. But there's a couple of things that still will change. First of all, targets are called goals in myflow. So you will notice that all of us, including me, still talk about targets many times, but I'm trying to correct myself to talk about goals because that's consistent with the new system. Same thing, different name. We talked about the development goals, that they are not periodical and can be worked on anytime. Performance is periodical, of course. We have a performance cycle that is opened and then it's closed with the performance evaluation. And then the big difference will be that the calibration of performance is done in the system, and the calibrated evaluations can be then made visible to the employees after the calibration is finished. So we don't have the issue that we now have in SolarForce, that we kind of have to do the calibration outside of the system and then put the calibrated evaluations into SolarForce. That works definitely better in the new system. And then we will be able to report on progress. So we will be able to see a lot better kind of how many people have already done the performance evaluations and where we are on those. And we can also see the performance evaluation statistics on team and functional and group level and much more flexibly than now. And the workflows, that's a big difference. So as Katri showed you, we can have journeys for a lot of different things that will help managers and employees to do the right things in the system. So that will change. And then one thing on performance evaluation and such, that you will have the possibility to ask for peer feedback in the system. So let's say in my case, Petra works a lot with Jura and Christoph. So I would be able to ask Christoph and Jura also for feedback on Petra before the performance evaluation, and that will be quite handy. Esa.
Yeah, still one question.
Yeah.
So when we should be ready with these PDD1 discussions and
yeah,
in the old system and in the new system?
Yeah,
I think it was earlier. It was target that during the January, but is it still the same?
Yeah, if you can in January, we do have quite a few people that have huge teams, and we've struggled on that. So January, if you are able to, mid-February, I would say is the absolute latest time if your team is very big. So as early as possible. I'm a little bit hesitant with that right now because I don't know how much time we need to put in all the targets and everything also from the company's side. So I think it would be, I mean, we might need a bit more time for that than before. But nevertheless, of course, you can start the individual discussions now. That's not a problem, even if they are not visible in the system. But preferably by end of January. Any other great questions today? Thank you. we will be, as Katri showed, kind of capturing a lot of the information about the systems and all the instructions in Sensor and on the training pages, and probably also will not shy away from sending a few emails, but generally the information will be available on Sensor. So if you look for something, the myflow page will be where to find it.